Everything you've been told about Judas betraying Jesus for 30 pieces of silver is a lie. Ancient texts that the church tried to hide reveal the shocking truth about what really happened that night. And once you know it, the entire story of Christianity changes forever. For 2,000 years, we've been taught that Judas was a greedy traitor who sold out Jesus for money. 30 pieces of silver, the price of a slave. The church painted him as the ultimate villain, the embodiment of betrayal and greed. But here's what they don't want you to know. This story was deliberately created to hide what actually happened. In 1978, a secret gospel was discovered, the Gospel of Judas. This ancient text, written by early Christians, tells a completely different story. According to this forbidden gospel, Judas didn't betray Jesus. He was following Jesus' direct orders. Jesus asked Judas to turn him in. He needed someone he could trust completely to set the final events in motion. Judas was the only disciple loyal enough and strong enough to carry out this impossible task. Jesus knew he had to be captured and executed for the prophecy to be fulfilled. But he couldn't just turn himself in. That would make him look suicidal and undermine his entire message. He needed to be betrayed. So he chose his most trusted disciple, Judas, and gave him the hardest mission of all, to be remembered as a traitor for eternity so that humanity could be saved. Judas loved Jesus so much that he was willing to sacrifice not just his life, but his eternal reputation. When the church fathers were deciding which gospels to include in the Bible, they deliberately excluded the Gospel of Judas. Why? Because if people knew that Judas was actually a hero following divine orders, it would completely change the narrative. The church needed a villain. They needed someone to blame. They needed the story to be simple. Good versus evil, loyalty versus betrayal. The truth was too complex, too challenging for people to accept. Even in the canonical Gospels, there are hints of this truth. At the Last Supper, Jesus tells Judas, "What you are about to do quickly." He doesn't try to stop him. He doesn't plead with him. He gives him permission. And after the betrayal, Judas is so overcome with guilt that he returns the money and takes his own life. Does that sound like a man motivated by greed? Or does it sound like a man who just completed the most painful sacrifice ever asked of anyone? Judas wasn't the villain of the story. He was the hidden hero who sacrificed everything, including his eternal soul's reputation, out of pure love and obedience. The church has been lying to you for 2,000 years. Question everything you've been taught.